When I say the word news, what do you think about? Do you think about news anchors who sit around at desks with a whole bunch of makeup and lights on them? Or do you think about radio stations or newspapers? Or do you think about Facebook? We're going to talk about fake news on this episode of Life and Stuff.
This terrifying face is circulating the web, interrupting kids' videos on YouTube.
It was as creepy as it had a V-shaped mouth.
Momo terrified Tanner.
Nightmares.
But the creature is not just scary. It's her message that has child psychologists concerned.
This very frightening looking figure is telling them you should kill yourself and this is how.
Look in our eyes.
This video went viral thanks to a YouTuber named Rainbot. Then it got memed to death. People all over the web are making Momo memes and jokes, spreading its popularity, even now. To understand fake news, we're going to need to talk about trolls. Trolls, internet trolls to be specific, who transformed it into a dark game and uploaded it to YouTube Kids. Because that's what trolls do. Trolls do mean stuff just to be jerks. In a recent study of 1,200 internet users, 5.6% of internet users admitted to being a troll. This study also found that trolls share dark traits like narcissism, also mental illness, mental disorders, and sadism. A sadist is someone who gets pleasure from causing someone else pain. They're the kind of people who conjure up Momo challenges.
What is a troll?
A troll is the lowest form of internet life. It is a motherfucker who just goes around making nasty comments and causing trouble.
What you're looking at is actually a sculpture of a Japanese yokai called Obume. An Obume appears in old folk stories in Japan as an old woman or a crone with a child in her arms. She's begging the passerby to hold her infant, only then to disappear. Then the weight of the child increases until the bewitched child is revealed to be nothing more than a huge rock or a stone. This sculpture was made by Keisuke Ayasawa, an artist at a special effects laboratory called Link Factory. The real title of the artwork is Mother Bird. It was on display at the very unique Tokyo Horror Art Gallery, the Vanilla Gallery. News has changed. The way we get news has changed. 2/3 of Americans get their news from social media, with almost half of that news coming from Facebook. Research also shows most people believe these sites are full of fake news already anyway. Like when you see that Facebook post that says that there's blood in Sprite or HIV in strawberries. Most of us can recognize that this is garbage and ignore it. But psychologists all over America says that parents are becoming increasingly stressed out about what their kids can get into on the internet. Remember, the Momo video was posted to the YouTube's Kid channel. And even though so far police haven't officially connected any deaths to the game, all over the world police departments have issued warnings to parents. So the question is, how to spot fake news? Okay, first of all, consider the source. Try clicking away from the article and maybe check out the website's homepage. Look at that mission statement. See who those contacts belong to. Does it look legit to you? Read the whole article. Read the whole article. Sometimes they pump up these outrageous headlines so that they can sell a mediocre or a weak story. So go ahead and read that whole article, all right? Supporting sources. Sometimes people reference things that aren't even really related because they don't think anybody's going to check those references. Click on the reference links. Click on the reference links. I can't tell you how many times I've clicked on a link and it led me to an error 404 page. Is it a joke? Once the World Weekly News had a front page article about a character called Bat Boy. There were outlandish stories. They were jokes. There was this one story about a 200-foot tall Jesus going around virtually undetected in Washington, D.C. So it's like, Sometimes there are these kinds of stories, and they're not serious. They're jokes, but sometimes everybody doesn't get it. Next, check your bias. So how do I explain bias? Okay, let's say you're an Alabama fan, and someone says to you that Auburn is the greatest football team to ever play the game. Well, if your blood and your iced tea start to boil, that's bias. Bias is a thing that colors your decisions before you make them. They are your brain's shortcuts for quickly handling information. Most of the time, they are wrong. Very wrong. So in the end, critical thinking and research is going to be your best tool to combat fake news. Because nobody wants to be the person who's posting misinformation, causing trouble. The whole Momo challenge started just like the Tide Pod challenge started because people thought that it was something that was really going on, but it was trolls. Trolls taking advantage of the fact that we will repost anything if we think it's true or important or urgent. So we end up being used by trolls to spread the fake news. But you don't have to be used by anybody. You can stop, research, and pay attention to what you're doing. And then you can be responsible. You cannot spread false information. Look it up for yourself, basically. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap everything up for us here at Life and Stuff today. So until next time, I'm Johnny Jupiter. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'm going to leave you with this.
Reporters are creating violence by not writing the truth. The fake news is creating violence.